Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to do a little topic parkour since there are several stories I think you guys will find pretty interesting. Let's begin with this one right here. So there is a remake of the SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos game coming out, and as Niche Gamer reports here, features are being censored even in the promotional artwork for this game, the remake of the 2003 original version of this game, which is not too surprising because Capcom has gone full woke in the past. They are very, very heavy into censorship and also the idea of inclusive storytelling. In fact, we have gone through some recent threads made by their localization team that is just absolutely pathetic. But here is the big difference. You can see the English censored version right here and the Japanese uncensored version right here and the official artwork that comes with it. So let's take a closer look at this. So you can see right here the most obvious change is the cropping out of the body of the bikini armor clad Princess Athena right here. It's very obvious. You can see they cropped it out and even added a shadow to hide some of her body. But there's also another big difference right here. So let's see the covering up of the cleavage of the character Mai. I mean, I don't really have to describe to you or explain why this is censorship. And as always with people on Twitter, they will see these changes and people pointing them out and complaining about them, and their response will be, well, what's the big deal? Well, if it's not a big deal, then why would you change it in the first place? It's very odd to see something like this being censored in the year 2024. It was okay in 2003, but now apparently in 2024, a little bit of cleavage on a character goes too far. But it gets even worse than that. As reported here, in this remake here, they're also adding disclaimers. They're adding disclaimers. Let's take a closer look at this. So it says this when you boot up the game. This product aims to faithfully recreate the content of the original game at the time of release in 2003 as much as possible. Therefore, the content of this game does not reflect the ideas of our company, but is provided as is, respecting the original intent of the game, and is not intended to promote or attack any particular ideology or group. This is very odd. Now, this would be better, a disclaimer, than censoring the game. At least you can have a disclaimer and then not censor the game, but they're doing both. They're adding a disclaimer and still censoring the game, which is absolutely pathetic, and it's really just showing that they're not proud of their own creations. Are you saying that you're ashamed of what you created in 2003? It seems pretty obvious that is the case with this disclaimer and the censorship, but it's not too surprising that this is happening with Capcom. They are known for censorship and also their terrible localizations. But let's move on to the next topic for today. We're going to focus on this very popular artist named Mary. So this is actually an art account I've been personally following for many years. They are a very, very popular artist, especially among Japanese users, but also in the West as well. And it's been reported recently that this Hyoka fan artist, who does a crazy amount of fan art for that franchise, they have been shutting down their Twitter. They have deleted all of their posts, and they are basically going dark. And it's very, very confusing because they're a very talented artist and someone a lot of people respect. So what happened? Well, it seems that a lot of Japanese users were bullying Mary for their artwork, and were even trying to frame some of the positive comments from the Western fans as negative, which is pretty odd. Normally we think of Japanese artists getting harassed. A lot of times it is English-speaking people trying to virtue signal, but in this case, a lot of the Western outrage that is being cited by some of these people and used as a way to insult this artist is actually English-speaking fans saying positive things. Like, one of the things that is citing is the fact that some people in the West claim that they make more promotional art for Hyoka than the actual franchise itself, which is more of a compliment, but they're trying to frame that, these Japanese users are trying to frame that as Western outrage, and that these people are tired of seeing it. It's disrespectful in some way to the creators because they're producing so much art of the franchise. But here is the statement from Mary. So they say this: I'm going to take a short break. I keep drawing Hotaru because I really like it. Don't worry, I won't delete your account or Pixiv. Actually, I started suffering from it in 2022, but it barely showed itself for 2 years. There were so many things I couldn't talk about during this time. I think it can't be helped because there are so many people, I guess referring to people they claim are upset about their artwork. I'm going to take a short break and post pictures again. I'm sure you've been really annoyed because of me, so thank you, and I'm sorry. I'll take a break and come back again. And a lot of people were responding to this post. You can see this post has around 7 million views. It just gives you an idea of how popular this artist is. And speaking of popular artists, you can see Hughes here, a very respected artist, responding saying this: "Senpai, don't focus your attention on a few individuals. You only have to look forward to your future. We are just happy you can keep making artworks. Please do not heed the words of people who already don't like you in the first place, and only focus on yourself and the people that care about you." This is advice coming from someone who was provocative in earlier days as an artist who didn't care about others, and I just draw what I did. Thank you again for the artworks and hope you recover fast. That's really the sentiment of a lot of people. We hope that Mary can get back to doing what they do, because what they're facing is totally unfair. They make very great art. There's no reason anyone should be upset with what they're doing. But let's move on to the next topic for this video. The anime a lot of people are talking about right now, My Deer Friend Nokotan. Now, this is a crazy anime. It's very weird, and guess what? That's great. That's one of the reasons I love anime. I love weird, cute stuff like this, and honestly, this show is delivering. So there is a big trend right now. A lot of people are replicating the opening theme. It's very catchy. I obviously can't play it here because of copyright, but you should check it out for yourself. But you can see this person right here reenacting the opening theme, dancing in front of an actual deer. However, this user is very upset. They posted their video and said anime fans need to stop posting cringe trends. And as this viral response says, in quotes, "Why is she outside dancing and having fun? This is so cringe," says the annoying dipshit that does nothing but be miserable online. And talking about cringe trends, I went onto this person's account too, and like they're like the very annoying, very basic like anime trend hopping. Like they're doing like the post which month your waifu, what was your birthday month, and this is your waifu, and they're posting that interaction bait type of stuff. So if anything's cringe, that's what's cringe. But also there's even more coming out with this whole Nokotan anime. So they one of their dances, and it references the Bully Maguire. So if you know Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he goes through his little emo phase and he does this dance. Well, they replicated it in the show. However, some people had very weird responses to that. So this user with 100,000 likes says this: "I don't find this really funny, but I'm glad that comedy animes now have a more healthy humor beyond sexual assault." What are you talking about? This sounds like a skill issue. If this is the only type of anime you ever come across, you're not looking hard enough. And that's really reflected in the responses here. You can see some of them, these users saying, "Xenophobic botted post number Gorgillion. Please, I beg of you, watch more than one anime. Not sure if rage baiting or genuinely just haven't watched enough. It's funny as F. What do you mean you don't find it funny? You need to watch more animes, bro." Yeah, so that's pretty much the response people had to that. It's very suspicious, too, the amount of likes versus the interactions on the post, where basically every reply is negative towards the original poster, yet somehow it has 100,000 likes. Very suspicious. But also another very weird post about this anime, a now deleted post where this user was trying to claim that one of the characters was trans femme. I don't know what it is with people in their headcanon and forcing representation on a character so they can feel valid or something, but this is very strange behavior. But moving on, we have another story coming out here, the end of the Halo show. Now, this is something that's been on Paramount. It is a very mixed review is what it's getting. A lot of people heavily dislike this show, and it's finally come to an end. And honestly, a lot of people are celebrating. And my thoughts on this are very simple. This image right here really just sums up everything wrong with this show. If you've been a fan of Halo for years and years, like many of you have, you understand Master Chief and the fact that he never takes off the helmet. You never see what his face looks like, and that was one of the first things they did with this show, was reveal his face. And that really goes against everything. It's the cardinal sin of what they could have done with this show, and that's what they did, and it backfired. They lost all the identity with this character who could have been literally anyone, and that was kind of the point. But let's move on to another very strange story involving VTubers. So some VTuber drama here. A lot of people have been talking about this post right here, which I don't know if it's deleted or just because this user has gone private, but this is the screenshot. So they said this: "I don't support bigger VTubers, 500 plus average, because they won't acknowledge your ass until you get to that point. But let's be real, 99.99% of streamers, not just VTubers, never see that goal. I know I ain't big by any means, but I mess with everyone regardless of viewership or follower count. But why though? Because you guys are the ones who gave me the support to have the level I'm at, and I'm forever grateful. So this is very strange. So basically, on the one hand, they're trying to say, I support everyone regardless of their viewership, but they also say, I don't support bigger VTubers. And also, they act like people who have a larger view count or follower count or what have you don't interact with smaller people, which is not the case. Maybe it's less, maybe it's a little disproportionate, but that is clearly not the case. I see people with huge view counts interacting with small VTubers all the time. This seems like projection, and also a lot of people would heavily criticize this thread and the message it's trying to send. I mean, basically, if you want to claim that numbers don't matter, then don't exclude people based on their numbers. And their response was interesting. So they posted their very muscly character here and said this: fight for what you stand for and never back down. It's that simple. You can dislike me for being honest, but you can never say I'm fake or inauthentic. If our opinions don't align, that's fine. Don't sweat it, because more times than not, people's opinions tend to clash. But I'd rather be a martyr for those who are afraid to speak up than someone who refuses to acknowledge the truth. Wow, that's deep. Well, here was a response from another VTuber saying this: hi there, I'm one of the bigger cats that have banned this person from my stream. If I may speak from experience, I banned them for a good reason. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I support who I want to support, big and small. Most of all, I support who I choose and love it that way. There are many people from within my community that can attest to that, some being regular recipients of my direct support. With that said, I don't care who you are. This goes for anyone. I don't care if you've rated me. I don't care if you've supported me. If you break my rules I have set for my streams, you don't respect my community. You are above nobody else in my stream, and you most certainly don't deserve my support, and that's my opinion. Well, I guess those opinions clashed, just like this VTuber had said in the previous tweet. And what was their response to this criticism? They have privated their account. 41,000 in private, which is like putting a Cheeto as a barrier for a door. Like, it does nothing. But anyways, we're going to end with a final story, a very important, very controversial one. As you can see, Lollygod Requiem still making the rounds in the very based KFC Spanish account. For some reason, they are crazy on this account, saying it's Friday, guys. And they have, of course, the dance going on here with Shigeru Ui's character. And yeah, that's how we're going to end this video, and I can't think of any better way to end it. But as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's various topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.